All right, welcome to a wonderful afternoon full of rando. Can't wait for another section of SGL Online for Link to the Past Randomizer. We have a open spoiler match between Gem and Specks. This is in elimination round because it's losers bracket round 3. Somebody unfortunately is gonna have to go home, and somebody gets to advance to go play Flip Heel. Very exciting match. Two amazing runners. Should be an awesome time. I am Claire Mouse. Joined with me is the German champion. Master Pilot Ravis. How's it going?
Hello. What's up? Yeah, nice to be with you here.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, tracking for us today is Iker, all around master. Hopefully going to be seeing a lot of these people good here at SGL soon. For the real thing, the real event. But yes, Ravis. Okay, I know. So we did take a look at the log. What are your thoughts so far on this initial seed?
A very interesting early game. Not sure what the runner's gonna do. There's a red goo in Link's house, and we kind of maybe want to go into Dark Cross, and there's no real weapon to gain before that. So maybe someone of the runners is brave enough to do it with that only, but we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
That's right.
But yeah, we have Pendant Swamp, but I think we're gonna see that hookshot. Unfortunately, this seed.
Yeah. Unfortunately for us, because we get less entertainment value, especially I think maybe in a higher pressure situation. I know that Gem and Specs very capable of using the boots for any real method of transportation or traversal. But yeah, like if you have to maybe like hover on demand, maybe it's gonna be just that much more comforting, so you don't have to if you have the hookshot easily available. Yeah, but so right, as you mentioned, like spoiler, so they get the log, they get 15 minutes study, and we're almost ready to go for the countdown timer, and they can pick their route at their own risk. It kind of does look like that Gem might be doing the thing that you suggested, Ravis, is we're gonna go grab the potion, we're gonna head over to Dark Cross and the castle. We're gonna get those flippers, even though Swamp is appended. And we might be trying to rush the flute, which is a waterfall. Now, it looks like Specks though.
Specks goes the other way. He's gonna pick up the glove here at some point. Get his moon pearl behind that, and then tries to do it with the fate flipper. Gem, I would say, takes the risky route. You have to be very well with your dark rooms, which Gem definitely is.
That's
Specks,
right. Yes.
It's gonna pick up some bush crabs here, which is the bombs. And yeah, let's see. We're gonna drop down here.
Yeah, so by far, like Specks is taking kind of like the safer route. I mean, if you want to also call like the more logically intended route, that's fine. But so like for what it's worth, the fire route is in the dam, so you can in fact actually go get this for Dark Cross. But like the way that Specks is doing it, he definitely doesn't have to incur so much risk at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to make use of that fire, also you need some magic, which we only would get at Link's Anchor, so that would also be a time investment, and very nicely done.
Yeah,
he's happy about that.
Oh yeah,
that was a risk taker. We were talking before the race about like you could do that, but it's kind of clunky at sometimes. But it worked out. And will be rewarded big time here in the waterfall cave.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and so I mean, so even risk side, right? Like, so I was gonna want to say, for SGL, certainly, like the cams being available here for us during the bracket stage, always be able to treat to see the runners' reactions. You saw Gem's big sigh of relief, in order to be able to get through it. But also, if you saw, if he had failed, right? Let's just say he died somewhere in Dark Cross. That was a minute and a half of time that you just can't get back. Especially in there. I mean, I guess if you're gonna lose a minute and a half somewhere, you could lose at the beginning, but like still, that is not a good feeling when you.
Yeah, it gets the flute on the first hack trip, and Specs is gonna work a little longer for that. I don't know. I think he's gonna just do his moonpearl stuff and never takes the flippers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're talking about.
He could still go into Harry Castle if he wants to. Now he has a sword and the hookshot, like certainly enough.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As you mentioned before, though, like Swamp is a pendant. Ice Palace, yes, technically is a crystal. We don't need the flippers, as we've seen times before. However, though, like the flippers, have certainly, as Jem demonstrated, is extremely convenient. You also probably mentioned this before. Is that when you have flippers, you don't need to do any, setups for fake flippers. You can go into just Waterfall Ferry like the first time instead of kind of going in and going out, going back in again, so you can walk for stuff. I mean, like, and of course, getting to Ice Palace is just a little bit faster. Just a lot of things. If you anything to do in the water, it's just gonna be just not that much faster.
Yeah.
So you may get some of the time back. You have to go all the way to Dark Cross in order to get them.
Very interesting. So, yeah, Specks is gonna. No, never mind. Specks is gonna take this book towards the desert, as it seems like, because I think there's where the first glove is, or like. Yeah, I think the first glove is in there, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, that's right.
Like what you could have done is like steal the key in Hyrule Castle and go to the back when you go through the Hyrule Castle dark rooms, right? You get the flippers, and then you go to the back and get your, I think, shovel is it? But Specs decided to just,
yes,
take the book
correct.
And get you will have to go there anyway. With the book, since one glove obviously in desert means that the book is required. But yeah, could have gotten to desert with the flute at least.
Yeah, right. And there's kind of maybe, I would say, I thought it was more like just two major choices, but I guess you do have kind of like an option, 2A, type of thing, which is, like, so if you can still, so if you decide not to do Gem's route first, which is go to go into the castle, go get your flippers, and then rush the flute, you can still go do all the stuff in Kakariko, go get some better equipment, having a hook shot. For example, in Kakariko will make Dark Cross infinitely easier. Even if you can't see, because you actually have a weapon to go kill the ropes. But then you can, go get the flute, and then you can actually use the flute to go to desert, which it looks like Specs is still going to choose to just walk over, which is still fine. That is certainly going to be, something viable. Maybe it's not worth it in order to go get the flute. But you can see actually kind of like the way that Gem did, which was maximum risk. He definitely gets, as you mentioned, like very well rewarded for basically, well, not only single dipping Kakariko, but he also gets to use the flute to go to deserts. Yeah.
And I mean, Specs to get the flute needs still some fake flipper shenanigans. Now he has some arrows, he has the Cane of Sumaria, so we can do instill a fake flipper pretty easily. But you'll see like the whole way, like Gem already is now pretty much next to him, like they're like high-fiving almost from up there and down there.
Yeah. Well, right. So Gem doesn't have the fire rod quite yet, so it does take a little bit of time in order to go like join the dam and blah blah blah. But as you did mention, like the amount of time saved though that Gem is kind of gaining over Specs, just because again it's high risk, higher reward, a type of situation. Like you really can see like the it's quite tangible.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice to actually have some ammunition for the arrows as well. I personally am pretty partial to using the bow in many situations. But yeah, actually, this case, without a sword. Oh, sorry, I guess we have a sword. The arrows actually do a little bit more damage. Then anything you can kind of use to like one shot, one hit, one kill them. Hook shot, for what it's worth, it does only stun them. It doesn't instantly kill them, and then it's kind of awkward because it like knocks the enemy back from the sand trap. So then you're still stuck. Yeah, and then you're still stuck with that like portal, the whirlpool of like slow annoyance, and then you still have like the random enemy that gets unstunned. Gem.
Yeah, and additionally with the bow, that why we use the bow instead of a spin is just the moment the like this guy dies, the sand guy, we can already move when we use the bow, but we're killing him while we're spinning, so technically we take a little longer.
Oh, okay. All these little tiny optimizations, and they do add up, for what it's worth. So. Alright, yeah. So I also don't know how Gem didn't die on Death Mountain. He was literally on the bridge, and the boulder. It was next to him. So, but we made it on super full, very healthy. As you mentioned. Okay, yeah. So this is gonna be Specs. I'm going to fake flippering his flute and mirror now from Waterfall, and yeah, like kind of based on the fact that we didn't go get the flippers to do this. Oh my god. Okay. We're good. Yeah. So based on we didn't go get the flippers immediately. The flippers are pretty non-existent now for Specs. He doesn't need them for anything else, really. So we don't have to go and spend all this extra time basically going over to across.
So, Gem having done his Paradox Cave stuff already, while Specks now finally gets his flute and has to activate it first. Gem obviously has to do the Moon Pearl stuff as well, but that's going to be rather short compared to what Specks has to do. So definitely Gem's risk at the start really paid off.
Yeah.
Was able to mirror even like here in Sanctuary, like saving a couple of more seconds. Like working out pretty well so far for Gem.
Yeah, no. This certainly is. Again, like if you, even if you think you're capable of taking on a lot of risks, it's because you have a lot of, spoiler experience. You kind of, you're a little bit more honest with yourself. It's certainly very good for you to do it because again, you can get rewarded well. Again, this is spoiler. You never know what things will happen, and so you're always going to be kind of taking that risk. But again, like this is also losers elimination match, so. You gotta earn your spot, in order to advance into the bracket.
Yeah.
And yes,
Gem, one of the players that's certainly not unknown to people who've watched different SG lives. So yeah, you get full hit with pretty much every skill possible in the game when you play against him.
Oh yeah.
Specks knows that, and Specks also like a great runner. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say Specks has no chance. Not at all. Like Specks is an amazing runner as well, and he's gonna show us why he's right now, playing with Gem in the same round.
Oh yeah. I mean, like spoiler has also it has both high and lower variance. I guess for what it's worth, right? Like the lower variance is that there's not going to be a lot of routing differences, or sorry, time spent searching for things that you don't know where they are, right? Oftentimes, especially when you play rando seeds without a log, you're like, okay, well, I did last locate my mids. But maybe my opponent last located their ice rod, which is very common, right? And so you kind of get like some high variance there. However, like in spoiler log, you know where everything is, and so of course Gem rushes the boots in Dark World.
It's okay. He gets the boots. It's a little bit. Oh, he gets his fairy.
He forgot.
Right?
The Fairy Revival Club in 2024 is going stronger than ever. Many members have subscribed to the club.
Yeah. I would need to look in my pocket, but I think I'm a member as well. So
yes, don't worry. 2025, I'm sure will be just as fun.
All right, we got the boots finally. Game's playable, as Jim would probably say.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we got a playable game. We also have, of course, a sword that we found in the well along with that hook shot. So just absolutely comfy. The comfiest, of course, being Omega playable. We would like Tempered Sword. We are getting Tempered Sword today for what it's worth. Like right here, we've already upgraded.
Yeah, I mean, from here now, I think we're gonna see pretty straightforward seed. I mean, we've seen a lot of things already, right? We know where the fire rod is. We need to find the ice rod and ether and bombos, and the hammer, and then we already have all our items. So.
Oh yeah, actually I didn't.
Particularly long seed, I'd say.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, for what it's worth, that's probably a better thing, for both Specks and Gem. Okay, so we got an ice rod here in Graveyard Ledge. Yeah. All right, Iker, our tracker, saying the ether will be fun. Let's see. I didn't actually search for ether in the log. I only searched for maybe.
It is fun. It is fun for sure.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna sit back, relax, and watch. Get our popcorn.
I'm gonna be a spoiler and say ether.
Okay. All right. Well, where is ether?
It's on a fetch quest.
Okay. Well, let's see. How many fetch quests? So we have powder, which Specks didn't do, but he didn't have the hammer when he was in Kakariko. So,
Well, we certainly found the ice rod on Graveyard Ledge, so that's one problem less to worry about.
Yeah, it's true. And yeah, again, if you're playing the seed by yourself, like getting a sword, getting to boots, really actually seem pretty okay. Just because you get your Dark World access, you're definitely gonna get Kakariko. For those people who are fans of Skullwoods, especially if you get the Fire Rod in Sunken Treasure, you will probably rush Skullwoods pretty fast. So. We'll actually be able to see nice hammer in Eastern Palace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very interesting that Specks went for it this early. I think I don't know. Gem might. What are we doing? Okay, we're doing it the same now. I was thinking about, do we go Darkwood again? I think there was nothing left. But yeah, we're gonna do Eastern and then fly back to 5.
Yeah, right.
Just in a different order, I guess.
Yeah, it actually does look like both Specs and Gem. I guess maybe less so for Gem because he didn't have the Fire Rod at the time, but Specs actually just went to go get the boots and then left Skullwoods, which is, again, understandable. Maybe, especially if you...
both did, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess like kind of the difference was that Gem didn't have the Fire Rod at the time. He could have gotten it.
Oh yeah,
no questions asked. But
like the north part was more important, getting his sword and the ice rod already.
Exactly.
Like both runners would wait for Tempered, and Gem made it the way that he didn't have even the chance to finish the back. And Spec said, even if I have the chance, I'm gonna wait for Tempered as well. I have to go this annoying way here to Graveyard Ledge anyway, so let's just do it. So different reasoning, but same thought in mind.
Yeah, definitely. This is a situation where rush boots. It is. I mean, maybe it's kind of memory, but this mantra though, you really can't go wrong. There's so many instances where it's just like, go rush your boots and spoiler, and then even if you don't win the race outright, you always win the postmortem. So it's just it's just a win-win situation.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Specs instead of going. Pod next, which probably like you want to do, right? Because like you can't combine it with Eastern anyway, but like I think he's gonna take that Tempered as well before going to Pod, because that Tempered can still help against the what they're called, the turtles in the dark room.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very excellent point, right? So I guess maybe just for further information, the lamp is in Hyrule Castle. Boomerang chest, though, I don't even if it was a map chest, Gem might have been tempted to go get it since he went to go get the flippers first. But Boomerang chest, like it was the second one, is pretty far, honestly. And so, especially we have the Fire Rod now, we probably won't use it. Go see the lamp. And so, yeah, like a little bit of magic for Dark Turtles will certainly be very helpful. But other than that, like even just like sheer offense and just trying to get through the room safely is just very, very appreciative. And of course, Gem doesn't have his potion anymore compared to Specs. So.
Okay, see, Specs is going Pod now. All right. I mean, it's not a big deal, but having Tempered Sword in that dark room is certainly nice. But I mean, technically, it could help you with Helma as well. No big time losses, but it is objectively still faster to use Tempered Sword, and unless Specs doesn't plan to pick up the Tempered until he wants to finish Meyer, I think we're gonna see him on Tempered for a longer time, and that would be the only way to save time with waiting for the Tempered Sword.
Yeah. I mean, you bring up actually a very, very good point. Rushing Tempered also is a highly recommended mantra that you can also go follow. But that being said, though, you actually see that Gem probably spent, I don't know, I'd say 20 to 30 seconds maybe extra for the extra Meyer trip entry in order to get Tempered Sword. So he is more of like he's just taking an investment, and so kind of depending on the number of bosses, number of things that he does in order to be able to save time with Tempered Sword, we'll kind of see in this case if the investment will actually pay off, right? As you mentioned before, right? If we're not really fighting, too much extra, maybe ultimately getting Tempered early will be less efficient. However, though, maybe just on a raw time basis, that's okay, especially if you end up getting some comfort. Did we not get bumpers on Gem side? We haven't been pod yet. Okay, never mind.
No.
I am also good. Interestingly, so Gem, I guess, is here. My guess is maybe he's here for the heart container, which is extra safety.
Yeah, I was thinking, but I agree. Like, I think, okay, he's on Green Man. Maybe that one heart can make the difference actually in pod, on Helma specifically. Having no mail upgrade. By the way, there's 2 heart containers here.
Oh yeah, so that's right. I actually didn't know if Gem was gonna.
I think if he takes this one, then he takes the other one as well.
Oh yeah. Well, right. The map chest one, which is the one that's like pretty on the way, especially if you get the small key. That's the one I was expecting to get. I didn't actually think you would get the one in Compass chest. But you mentioned before though, right? There's probably no armor for both Gem and Specs. The armors, one's in Pyramid Fairy, one's in Agina, and so. like, you know, the Pyramid Fairy is pretty out of the question. Akina, you can spend your extra, you know, 20 whatever seconds to go get it, but probably no.
I mean, once you die, right, you are like, I should have taken the armor, I guess.
Yeah.
As long as you're not
once
dying,
you-
it's like, why would I take the armor? So
Yeah, exactly.
it's a hindsight kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's all like other things that, especially for safeties, you know. So part of safeties is there's some threshold where you know after a certain point you're probably like, okay, you know what, I feel comfortable enough doing this. You know, stuff obviously can still happen to me, but you know, I will live with the consequences. And you know, that threshold is obviously going to be different for different people. But you know, some people are good with like 4 hearts. Some people are like that fifth heart, as you mentioned, is actually pretty important because a lot of things also end up doing 4 hearts of damage to you, and so to be able to take that second hit or the first hit is like really important. Beyond that, you know, kind of up to you now. Is like, do I want to invest 30 seconds to go get the safety so I can mitigate my chances of dying later on, which is kind of not quantifiable in some ways. So
Yeah, Specks really doesn't want to take damage here. Okay, perfect. Because like you might get a heart or like a hit next room. Nice quick kill on Gem's side.
Yeah, very nice cold stare fight. One of the things that I mean, he's known for a lot of things, but you know, having a good cold stare fight. I think even early on for his SGL days, SGL 2019, 2020 or whatever, like I think that's actually one of the things that commentators actually pointed out at the time. It was good. But yeah, as you said, Specks is here facing Helmasaur. We have Master Swords. We're probably gonna do some spin speed. We're gonna do Bow Helma.
I mean, yeah. The fire looked pretty dangerous with the quick tail. All right, yeah, but there's where the temperate is obviously coming in with 4 slashes, potentially even like 2 slashes and a spin. If you have to wait for a cycle or something, then Gem's gonna be a little bit quicker. But Specks did a really good job going through here and finishing out pod.
Yeah. And it's like and Specks just, you know, went head on right into Palace of Darkness. He does have the fire rod, so we are able to get some light at least, albeit dimly lit, in the Turtles room, which probably, you know, is going to be the major barrier before, of course, the boss. And you know, being in the boss at 4 hearts means that you only get to take 1 hit before things get extremely dicey. Not to saying that you going into with only 1 hit available to you is makes you feel warm and fuzzy either. But yeah, Specks did, you know, again, high pressure situation, you know, did a great job. It is extremely expensive to die at Helma.
So interestingly enough, PH in chat already corrected me on that issue. So Specks earlier dropped into the pinball room itself, while Gem picked up the compass chest, got a key, and ran out of Skullwoods, so he went north. So Specks actually hadn't gotten the ice rod yet, which he's getting now.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and I think maybe, yeah, it's probably, is it a wash? I don't really know, you know, which way is actually better. I'm sure there is actually, like, if you time both things, there will be an objective, like, this is faster versus this is slower, type of thing. Like, Gem, on the one hand, had to walk out of Skullwoods, on the other hand...
Oh my god, that chest turn was crazy.
You know, you gotta don't you know that there are you need 5 chest turns for every single rando race that you play?
Oh, is it?
In order to be Ganon? Yeah, there's new code now that checks. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like though, as you mentioned, Gem in this case took the early investment to go get Tempered Sword. It doesn't actually look like we're gonna go get Tempered Sword on Specks' side before we actually go back to the Mire area and probably.
Yeah, I think you're committing here. You're just simply committing here. Like, I think that was the idea all along, not taking the Tempered Sword time. Which again also, you know, would save some time here on the upcoming fight on Moldon. 1 spin, 1 flash, versus 3 hammer hits or 3 spins.
Yeah. Very nice Herapod. Using the hook shot. You know, Specks is, of course, famously known for Specky Clip, which we're actually not going to see today because Swamp Palace is a pendant. There's nothing back there, which is unfortunate because of all people, you know, we have Specks here on Restream. Would be really nice
Yeah.
to see him do the Specky clip, but we get a kind of like a proxy, you know, the Hera pot Specky clip at home type
What
of
do
thing.
you think went through his mind when he found it?
Is this
Like,
legal? Like, what just happened? You know, like I'm
Yeah.
actually even wondering, like, if it was, you know, kind of, I guess never asked him this, but like, if it was he was actually looking for something, he noticed something way back when, or he just kind of found it, by like almost accident.
I think he had an idea, and then tried to use the bomb angle that we use for Herapod, and tries to do the same thing there because he sees the statue and then tries it out. It's like, huh, that's pretty cool.
It
That's
is
my
real.
trick.
Yeah, and so far, like, the original Specky clip was actually, I mean, it looked actually pretty cumbersome. The setup was extremely awkward. The timing was a little bit weird, but you got to sequence break. Obviously you can sequence break the back of Swamp without the hammer, and then I think maybe within, I mean, want to say like 24 to 48 hours, like people end up finding out, use the combination of like the Herapod setup and applying it to Swamp. Like now the setup is like, super easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is really kind of like really great to see from the community. Just some people come up with an idea and then everybody else kind of like runs with it. It's just so great.
All right, Specks about to enter TR. Meanwhile, Gem getting his third crystal as well, but having done longer dungeon like Pod and Ice versus Pod and Tower of Hera, which is definitely one of the quickest dungeons we have, if not the quickest dungeon.
Yeah, I think maybe a general estimate would be something like 50-ish seconds, kind of depending on your equipment. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, definitely under a minute. And of course, it depends on your Herapod and your Moldorm kill, etc. So Gem, for what it's worth, he probably won't do the bomb setup that we saw Specks do. He has his own like hook speed.
Yeah, first get into the portal.
Yeah.
So Specks did go for a little bit of a safety. In the compass chest in Hera was the cape. Fair doing in my eyes, since you're low HP as well. Like max 4 is not much. I assume Gem is not gonna take it with 7 hearts. But we'll see.
Yeah, okay, this is actually good. I didn't actually look what was on Bumper Ledge. I guess I just kind of assumed that when Specks picked it up, it was necessary. However, though, given that Gem is just beelining it to Moldorm, yeah, it looks like we don't need it. And I think in Specks' position, it's actually a very prudent choice in order to go make it. It doesn't actually cost that much extra time. It's just 1 floor down, 1 floor up. From going to Hera, which is screen transitions, right? But the fact that he doesn't have a lot of health, he's probably going to face down Vitreous at some point soon. Maybe he wants to go to Mire before Ice Palace in order to go get his Temper Sword for Cold Stare. So then if you don't really have health as your best resource, right? That cape is going to definitely it basically doubles or triples your health at that point effectively. So I think it's a very good decision on his part. Otherwise, your Vitreous Slice Sword would just be very slow. All right, we are. I don't want to bring up any sore memories. I am glad to see that Gem get Herapod. In fact, how he was actually knocked down to the losers bracket. And again, it's not the only thing that could have gone wrong or would have gone wrong. But unfortunately, he soft locked the first time in his winners bracket match versus T-Stew, and he ended up costing like 2 minutes because he had to go all the way back, save and quit, go all the way back to Hera, and then redo it. And it was.
That's rough.
It was very sad. So really got to see him not mess it up anymore. Alright, so you actually see Specks in Dark Maze for TR, and that cape is already coming in handy. One of those things where you really don't want to lose health here.
Yeah.
It is, you mentioned this before though, like having that 5th heart would be really, really nice here in order to, right? Because then you can actually take one more hit, one hit. Which is actually why I kind of see Specks really being careful with his health here, especially with the cape, with the with the bow and all the stuff. You can also tell Specks is Specks and Gem very skilled at doing their laser bridge skips. Nice ice rod.
Yes, good
Oh,
ice
very
rod.
well done. Very well done on Specks side.
Saves like half a second compared to the Kenosu Mario strat.
I can't believe like half a second is a lot of time. You know that?
Yeah.
And this is also kind of one of the nice things about, out of the many things about Rando. I think especially, since you're also here, Ravis, very fitting to be able to take really advantage of like quick swap in Rando, and then also using some maybe like lesser known items. For example, Specks uses a hook shot in order to get through the Pegs room or the Switches room. Boomerang, silver arrows are extremely useful things in order you can take advantage of, like Hera and back in Skullwoods. Is just like really amazing actually to be able to see like the Rando specific time saves.
Yeah, for sure. I think using quick swap more is something that had to be exploited over time. But I think now a lot of people are like, crazy menuing while playing the game amazingly. It's at some point it is somewhat of the standard to try to use items while not only dashing through the foes, but also make the screens even faster.
Yeah. It's also really good to see this too.
I did got his Turtle Rock done. Well played.
Yeah, very nice backdoor hammer stress. Like get no Master Sword, so Hammer does the same damage as Master Sword. But you just see Specks having maybe less of a fun time with the Ice Head. But it's kind of maybe to be expected. It wasn't super cooperative. And then also just a little bit longer since you don't have the sword in order to be able to spin on phase 2. But yeah, gets it through pretty well. And I didn't also notice, Ravis, that we had a mushroom drop on Trinex. Yeah. Oh, what a great seed!
Yeah, you look for that ether medallion, and then it's on the mushroom on Trinex.
Great.
And there's possibilities if you don't have a spoiler. You end up in TR without the ice rod because it's on Graveyard Ledge, and then you suddenly you have to do TR for one item, having an entire mountain climb, right? There might be people taking a lot of time getting that mushroom in the first place. So I think we can all agree that everybody who's running Rando is glad that this seed didn't come up in a non-spoiler.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, them on 1 heart is also kinda Monka-esque, but we got the power, alright.
Yeah, I didn't actually see what ended up happening. Maybe he had some unfortunate things at Laser Bridge, maybe? I'm not really sure. Yeah, but he at least got the small key. He got laser, thanks Iker. Yeah, at least, okay, yeah, he walked out with the key, which is the most important part. We can now get full health. He's gonna, and he has tempered sword, so it'll be a little bit more muscle memory probably. Yeah, and having tempered sword is gonna be super nice for the right head, just because you can keep fire rodding and then slashing him. So. Yeah, and Specks finally has made his way over into Misery Mire area. Probably, yeah, so that was also one of the things that Gem and Specks kind of deviated on early on. Gem took the initial investment into the Mire area to go get his tempered sword from Mire Shed. I don't know. I mean, it
was definitely worth
yeah.
in my eyes. It was the quicker way to double dip the area, simply. All the boss fights and the pokies, a lot of stuff just made
I forgot about the
easier
minions.
and quicker.
Yeah, you're absolutely right though about so normally we think of boss fights as probably primary source, between is Argus okay on Master Sword versus Tempered Sword? How much time do you actually lose or gain, between weapons? But you're absolutely right though, especially for Turtle Rock.
It was multiple dungeons, right? It was
right. Yeah.
It was Pod, it was Hera, it was Turtle Rock even on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
I think it definitely saved some time here, but it's also making you more comfortable than having Master Sword simply.
For sure. Yeah, and this is kind of one of the things that we see Specks being pretty. Keeping his temperament pretty cool. Being on 4 hearts pretty much all the time. Can be a little bit scary. It's definitely one thing to have a bunch of health going, and even if you don't get hit, right, it just makes me feel that much better. You don't have to incur the risk of dying.
Yeah,
like right here, Specks is.
I was about to say like, oh no.
Specks did not hit the switch.
The arrows
Okay.
can be very tricky.
Yeah, trying to cut a corner a little bit, but it's understandable. Yeah, being on 1 heart, he just has to get through. Basically, yeah. The addition of dark rooms. I mean, both Gem and Specks did, you know, very nice job getting through basements of Mire. Like, it is. I mean, in addition to like pod basement, it's probably one of the hardest rooms in the game without the lamp. So very well.
Yeah,
done.
that cape is gonna come handy here, right? Like we haven't talked
Yes,
about that
very
yet,
much
but
so.
we would probably need the green view, I would think.
Yep, it's. I mean, if oh my God, Specks, let's run.
Okay.
Okay.
It was kind of scary for a moment. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh, you
But
know
he
it's
did well.
like...
Okay, never mind. He proved me wrong. Like no green goo needed. It's simply it was well done. Yeah, Gem getting getting that full magic, thinking, oh, that's quicker, and then the anti-fairy is like, nope, I'm gonna take some of your time back.
Yeah.
Alright, Specks has to do Skywards and Ice, and Gem only has to do Skywards. But, you know, Specks technically further forward on the path yet. Let's see where we're going first. Alright, we're taking Ice first, so we're gonna get a clear picture very soon.
Yeah. Very, you know, this is definitely the
yeah, you need
remembering.
to make
yeah, exactly. It's so easy to forget,
also
especially
a little
later
bit
on.
of a time investment like this part right here. Like if you don't get it immediately, it gets very annoying sometimes to actually fake flipper.
Yeah, well, I absolutely agree with you. And yeah, and this is some of the stuff that, you know, even going to get flippers, it was like a total time is a minute and a half, but I mean, even just go to Dark Cross and stuff like that is the investment. But you know, you do get some of the time back because you have to do some extra stuff without the flippers. And I was gonna say, yeah. So between Skull and Ice, like, what should we do first? I think Ice Palace is the objectively correct decision. You can certainly do either one because you are in go mode. But you know, as we kind of saw in Jump Side, there were 2 heart containers that you can pick up. One is
yeah, you see the video fight right now. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, it's all good.
It was so quick, so I wanted to at least say a word about it. But yeah, it was again too quick.
Too fast. Yeah. No, Gem did. Like, obviously, you know, you give him temper, you give him boots. I don't even think you have to give him the extra health. he is extremely comfortable, basically, on this equipment.
Yeah, I would say like Armalex and Chad, like roughly 2 minutes, between 2 and 3 minutes of a difference, depending on how long Specks takes you for the entire Ice Palace. But Gem definitely in a commanding lead here.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Specks is gonna have, probably like half an Ice Palace, maybe to 2/3 of an Ice Palace left.
I mean, right now, yeah, finally, okay, there we go. Icebreaker can be annoying, like usually you can get it easily done, and then you know when you take it like to the 3rd or 4th try, then you suddenly get that feeling of like what's going wrong here, what's happening?
Yeah. I've seen Gem do some sort of like backup thing where it's like maybe you can't get through, but you can like pick up the block again and then like throw it. I don't know. There's something where I think you can you don't have to use as much magic and you kind of keep your existing block, but don't ask me.
Sounds like a Gem thing.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, and I would say that, so Specks has Bombo, so I'm not actually worried about his magic. It would be kind of nice maybe to use the full Fire Rod shots set, but you know, again, he has Bombo, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, although he didn't flip the switch, so we pick up the small key and the big chest, which I was thinking about you could have done. But like with the magic shenanigans Gem had to deal with without Bombos, for him it didn't make sense to go for big key into small key there.
Oh yeah, that's also true, right? Because Gem decided he wanted to do get Temper Sword first, which is Mire Shed, and then he wanted to go get us 2 heart containers out of Ice Palace. So he opted to not do pod on like 4 hearts, which is what Specks did. You know, Specks is an extremely brave Power Ranger, and so that was kind of like, you know, like a rippling consequence, I guess, maybe something that you maybe realize once you're inside the dungeon that you don't really have magic.
Okay. Yeah, this was kind of annoying, but fine. Let's see how the cold stare on Specks side is gonna go. By the way, Crystal pickup at 37.18. All right, top right spin. We could fire out the last guys. Ooh.
This is why we. This is why we have the 5th heart, or
It
the
was
6th heart.
calculated for sure, yeah.
Yes. That is, you know, given all of the cutscenes and like the mirror transitions and the whatever, right? You know, I bring this up because at least upcoming for the main tournament, there's going to be a mode called Cross Hunt, just cross keys and basically like boss hunting. And so you don't actually have to keep the crystal or the pendant. You just need the actual like prize off of the boss. Which happens to be like a Triforce piece, but you know, just having looking, you know, at the amount of time that you have to sit through like cutscenes, you know, for like crystal pickup, pendant pickup, you know, health refill, all this stuff. Like it's like, you know, we saw kind of Jump go through that. You know, it was maybe like 15 to 20 seconds of just waiting. You know, if you don't need to do that for basically like 10 dungeons or something like that, I mean, that's really nice. That's a lot of time saved. Alright, PH being our, you know, resident timer. Thank you. Looks like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's...
There we go.
Okay. It's actually a really good time point, or measurement. Like maybe like a full clear, you know, of Skullwoods, or sorry, you know, rushing the boss plus, you know, whatever, Dark World entry, you know, is like 2.5 minutes-ish, depending on. And I think, not that this has come up certainly during any nominal, you know, spoiler log disasters, or a spoiler, pilot spoiler disasters, if you die on Mothula, which I'm sure nobody's ever done in the past, right? If you happen to die on Mothula and then you need to go back immediately, the return trip is actually surprisingly cheaper than you might think. It's actually only a little over a minute.
Skullwoods is really a quick dungeon. If Herapod didn't exist, it would even shine brighter. But with Herapod, it's like...
Good point, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing as quick as that. I think the only dungeon that's quicker than Hera with Herapod is the dungeon you don't dip.
The dungeon that you... Oh, yes! I was like, what dungeon? Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Alright, you mentioned now... Yeah, right. So you mentioned actually, right, like how useful the shot is.
So Jem also, as you've seen, right? He's got the big key, but we are continuing here.
Oh, so okay. This might be a like a situation where Jem sees that he's ahead, so there's no reason. Maybe that he doesn't have that he has to give up silvers. Silvers, even at a time loss, in order to get the extra. How much extra time does it take for map chest to go to random room? I don't know, some amount of time. But then like...
Yeah, Jem, that's what I was thinking. Like, there is no key here, so we're gonna get those silver arrows. But, Jem...
Okay, suddenly shambles.
I mean, the problem is that Hulk Room also doesn't have a small key.
Is he gonna go kill Ice Harmless with this?
I think we're gonna see a tile room here, I'm not gonna lie.
Is there one upstairs, Service?
No, there's no key upstairs.
What is Jem gonna do then?
Wait, what is... Oh, is that a miscalculation last second?
I'm very worried.
That is very unexpected right now.
Oh my god.
Technically, so thinking about like Jem remembering or seeing that any moment, right? It makes me think, okay, if he mirrors right now, he's still ahead. But not by far. The big key was in the map chest, and Jem ended up going towards random room because the silver arrows were there, but there was no key on the way, and the next key he has to pick up is either, let me see again, either in tile room, the Bob's chest. Bob's chest has another key.
Bob's chest would have been probably the most prudent.
Oh, Jem. I mean.
I'm very worried.
Yeah.
I am very worried.
This is gonna be very interesting. I wonder what Specks is gonna do. Imagine Specks doing the same thing.
Right? No, I assume Prospect's just gonna leave after Big Key chest, or sorry, map chest. I mean, where
I
to get
think
the Big Key.
if Specks has Gem's stream on, right, he should see, okay, my opponent doesn't have a key, like, yeah, he's gonna mirror here.
Well, but like, are you actually gonna look at that? Like, if you, like, okay, at least based on personal experience, you look at your opponent's stream and then you see like, oh, he's in Wizropes too. Like, I don't have much of a chance. I don't actually. Like,
I think
like
that
the key count
Specks,
is not my.
if Specks could have even gone for the silvers and then continued to Bob's chests because he gets the key quicker. But it doesn't matter. Like, for what's mattering for Specks right now is that he's gonna get up here, finish the dungeon, and then get the torch glitch. And even if not, right, he has a green goose still, so he should be fine as long as he's playing fine. I think he's getting the nerves. I think he knows what's up. Because the execution is getting a little bit, a little bit sloppy right now, but Specs is currently in the lead. And Gem,
You'll get a small key here. Oh my, okay.
I think he realized.
Well,
I think he
no,
realized.
that was coughing. Gem is unfortunately
okay.
still sick, but he's going to realize, like, right here, that he doesn't have a small key.
3, 2, 1.
Oh no.
No!
Oh no. Oh no. Panic.
Yeah, and he's looking at the log, and he's gonna realize, oh my god, my small keys are all so bad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there we go.
So
It's not here. It's not here. You gotta go back. You gotta go back.
He needs to go. Where is he getting this key from? Oh, it's just Alpha's room. Yeah. Okay, alright. Well, okay. That's actually not... Again, okay. He... Unfortunately, doesn't... Okay, this definitely puts Specs in the lead. That is certainly very true. However, it's not right now as maybe insurmountable as it might appear for Gem. So, for what it's worth, I was gonna say, like, so Gem has silvers at least that can get him a little bit of time back. From Ganon Phase 4. But however, though, that is like the barrier right now, like the distance is still. Like, Specs has definitely got the lead back.
I mean, I'm gonna say it straight up here that if it turns out that Specs is gonna win this, which it currently looks like, I hate to say it, but that would not be the worst way I've seen Gem go out in a tournament.
Oh.
But let's see. Like Gem is gonna put on the engine again. He's gonna try to save every frame that's possible to pressure Specs as well. But that is obviously very unexpected. Like it looked like from the get-go with the red goo into the dark maze.
Yeah, it was certainly very, very good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
like he got rewarded for the more risky route, and now it looks like it's falling all apart.
Yeah, I mean, you said earlier before, right? Sorry, I guess it was PH who you had this, right? Is that Gem had a 2-minute 40 lead, basically. Going into like the mountain climb, or like I guess into Skull Woods. So like that is something pretty tangible, right? The fact that we're basically Gem's in G1, G2, excuse me. Specs is doing torches too. Like, it's not, again, like Specs is definitely commanding in the lead, but I don't think it's like entirely hopeless.
Yeah, I mean, what we have to analyze here is that Specs had to use the green goo, so that makes it that the torch glitch is a must here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That's
not have enough
true.
magic with the fire out alone.
All right, good save on Jump side for Lemos 2 the second time.
Yeah, that would be an alternative for Specs to cost some time to let Gem actually come back. Mm-hmm. But definitely, like Specs has all the trump cards in his hands and is in a commanding space.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't know if Specs has been watching, did watch, know where he kind of is in the state of the race. But yeah, as long as he just finishes the game without any major disasters, he should be able to advance onto the bracket. Gem definitely he's played very well so far for the second time. That's definitely true. He's doing everything he can right now and try to claw back some time.
Yeah, good first triple here. Ooh, gets a 0 in the next one.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That's something that Gem needs desperately. Gets a single in the next one. You have 2 remaining. This is not a bad setup for a double. Alright. If that even was a double necessary, but
yeah.
it should have been.
Oh,
Smolderm with a tricky hit.
Oh my
Aye.
gosh, dude.
Dodging every
Smolderm.
slash.
Yeah.
This Smolderm really wants some blood.
Alright, Specks is really... Alright, he's like, my
I
heart
was
is
surprised
pounding.
that Gem didn't try the hover here, I'm not gonna lie, but... You know, a better Aga fight. We see
better Aga
normal
fight.
legs. It's roughly a minute. So
Yeah, I mean,
we're in territory.
Right. And I mean, I think having, like, Specs, I think, wouldn't have to mess up for Gem to have more of a fighting chance. Like, but I mean, like, mess ups are, you know, both small and large, I think, right now. Anything would be probably a favor.
There's a little bit of PRNG depending on the Ganon position, like when we enter phase 4, right? Ooh, and Autospec kind has to be careful. Alright.
He did get the 1-1, which is pretty important.
So, like, there are chances that you get, like, 1 silver hit or 2, and then the moment you can light the torch, like, Ganon is in the perfect position for another double arrow, right? Or a triple even.
Right.
So, like, that is some difference that can happen, but it looks like Specs should just be good if he gets, like, 3 triples and, you know, gets the torch glitch here. There we go. And he's already in the triple phase, so he's gonna get a double here, and he doesn't need to wait a cycle. So this is immediately torch glitch. Oh, misses the hit though. Misses the hit. And he's not allowed to take a hit as well, because he's gonna die there. He's not having a parry anymore.
Oh, he has a blue Ganon. Oh man. Alright, well, I mean, so Gem is on phase 1. Here we go. Yeah, he does have the green potion, right?
No, the green goo is out.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Okay.
He's gonna get 8 here. 9. Yeah, it looks like he's still a bit ahead, but I'm worried about those fire beds.
No, he should be good. Alright, very last conservative 12th hit on Ganon. Oh my gosh, what a turn of events. Big GG's to Specs, who is going to cross the bridge and take the win for Spoiler Log Losers Bracket Round 3. And Specs is, oh my god, I see.
Yeah, that is
the happiness and the relief. Oh my gosh.
And Gem knows,
seconds behind.
Yeah, I mean, like, this turned out to be a crazy close seed. Like, I did not expect that at all. GG's to both of them.
Amazing, yeah. Big GG's, yeah. It's extremely heartbreaking, in my opinion, for Gem. But I mean, like, because he obviously played very well. But, you know, sometimes things happen. Yeah, that you don't expect.
So official race time race is Specs on 1:04.49 and Gem on 1:05.09. So it's 20 seconds. And yeah, I mean, that's a rough one. And GG's Gem and Specs, which both just joined us. GG's guys.
Yo, GG's guys.
GG's Gem.
Oh, GG's Specs.
And thank you. That's unfortunate about the bow and the keys. I almost got the silvers too, because I'm like, I know they're not quite worth it, but it just makes the clients so much easier. But then I'm like, wait, I have to go to the gym room to get keys. I'm like, that makes it too slow. I have to go silverless. But that explains it, because I knew I'd be a bit behind you, because I did a few things a little too slow in some of my rooms and bosses, so that makes sense, but your time went.
Yeah, I just had a big brain fart.
Yeah, so the opening immediately put Gem in a very good position. Props to you for actually going with the red goo into Dark Maze. That was nice.
Yeah, I was sweating when I had to use it, like, before I even made it to Dark Cross. But then I barely got the flippers before dying.
Okay, so you
just such.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, because of the red goo.
That makes sense. Yeah, go for the flippers so you can get the flute mirror a lot sooner. Primarily the flute.
Yeah.
That makes
sense. Like, it was a risk of roughly 1.5 minutes. So, like, we went out of Link's house, and I think you survived on exactly 1 heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that red goo actually made it worth. Like, we were talking about it before the race. And yeah, actually doing it, and then, you know, saving a lot of time just by getting the flute and the mirror early.
I
Yeah.
respect that. That's so scary to do. That snake room, RNG can just destroy you. Ugh. GG isn't getting that.
Yeah, that's everything there is just such a gamble, but I figured on 6 hours I'll do it.
So Jem, I know I don't want to go too. I don't want to put the finger too deep in the round, but when you were on the way to render room, right? You went back to the chest before that. So did you realize you had no key? And then
No, I just saw it's so hard.
oh,
I was like, might as well grab it. I mean, the whole reason I even got the silvers was because I saw I was far ahead, so I figured I'd just get them as a safety.
mhm.
Then I just brain farted
Okay.
and didn't realize I would need another key.
Yeah, map chest is a really annoying spot for Bicky if you want to continue in GT.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue. Like, just use your brain. But I just didn't in that moment, and then that's why I lost.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I felt like I played decently, but I think I had a couple things go a little slow, and then I'm like, I know I could have routed a couple things a little bit better. I just wasn't sure what way. So I expected to be, I don't know, at least probably a minute and a half behind. I was just guessing. I'd be curious to know how much I was behind going into GT. Was it like 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think a PH in chat estimated roughly 240,
Oh, dang.
something like that, at some point at least. I don't know if it was GT or if it was Skull Woods or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there were probably some like the major things were, I think one was in like Light World. Again, like Jen got a lot of time getting the flute earlier, so that he got to flute to desert as opposed to like he walked there, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one is right. So Jem after Mitz and flute, he went to go to Myershed to go get Tempered Sword just like as a one-off, versus like I think after Eastern. You just went straight to pod and then you single did the Mire area, and I think maybe like the Tempered Sword could have bought Jem some time over you.
Yeah, that's fair. I considered if I should dip Myershed just for the tempered, because I'm like that might be worth it. Because then I have it for TR, and it's a faster try next fight. Deal with pokies and stuff can potentially be a little bit faster. Yeah, I debated that. I decided not to, but yeah, I probably should have. I would have saved enough time on Trinex, so I think about it. It would have been worth.
Yeah, because I think especially if you're gonna go get the Myershed sword anyway, like it's just really the only Mire entry. That's kind of like your investment. So that's I don't know. That's like a 20, whatever
Yeah.
second.
Because then I have to
mean,
walk. Yeah, I have to walk all the way back out of Myershed and then south. So like that's actually. It's mostly the mirror warp and the flute. Yeah, no, it's definitely time save to get tempered early. Yeah, now that I think about it, that's a no-brainer. Yeah. So that makes sense. So the tempered, and then obviously the decision to get the flute a lot sooner would save a lot of time. Probably a couple little other faster spots Jim executed a bit better than me. When did he do Skull Woods in this seed?
Last.
Okay, I did too.
I got my boots, and then left for Graveyard Ledge.
Yes, oh, there was a little difference. Like Specs, you dropped in the right hole, and Save and Quit and Scowards Jen went into the left hole, did the compass just for a key, got the boots, and went out and got the Graveyard Ledge Ice Rod.
Yeah, I think I like that better. That's actually what I meant to do, but I forgot the part where I need a key to get out of pinball room. So then I was like, oh well, I guess I'll come back to this later. So yeah, that I guess at least my key issue wasn't as costly. So yeah, gave the after boots. I think that's correct.
Yeah, now you're up against Flippy. How do you feel about that?
I'll try my best. I'm not, I'm relatively fast, but like by spoiler terms, I'm the people remaining. I'm one of the slower ones. So, I'll just try my best, and just hope it works out well. And either way, it'll be a good training opportunity. I think I have a chance versus Flip, but Flip's definitely faster than me in some spots. So we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jem, I hope you feel the digital hug that I try to give you.
Thank you.
It's very unfortunate to see stuff like that. Probably most runners have been at that point, that they go up GT not realizing they're missing a key, and then it all falls together. It's sad, but that is also part of rando, right? Specifically spoiler, know how many keys need and stuff, and yeah, it was unfortunate this time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm really annoyed with myself because both my losses were, I was very far ahead and was meant to win, and then I just threw it away both times. So that's like super frustrating. But oh well.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Jim.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's all good. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any final words for this race?
Yeah, just thanks for the commentary, guys, and the restream and the tracking, and good luck with your next race, Specs.
Thanks, Jim. And yeah, Ravis and Clearbass, thank you for the thank you for comms. Thanks for tracking. Thanks again for the restream. And yeah, thank you, everyone.
No, thank you guys so much. Again, Jem, sorry about the results. But you guys played both very well. It was a phenomenal race to watch. And yeah, Specs, best of luck going up against Flip Peel. I also did notice that everybody here on the call is part of the Pilot Spoiler tournament that's also going on. So, Specs, are you running? Are you the primary runner, or are you guys like taking turns?
Yeah,
It'd be good practice.
I am the primary runner. IB Karma is my pilot. So we've done 2 practice seeds, the qualifier, and we did one yesterday. And
okay.
I would say, we've been getting better times than I would have expected. So I feel like we have a good shot in our groups to do well. If we make it to bracket, though, we'll have to tip it up for some scary teams. But it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun, different event. I haven't really done much Pilot Spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, well, Pilot Spoiler in general is obviously is a ton of fun. I was gonna say, like, Theo, your opponent's also is, I believe, the main runner in his team as well. He's being piloted by Worf, but so he's just it's gonna be a runner on runner battle. Should be a lot of fun whenever you guys schedule that. Yeah, and thank you so much, Iker, for tracking. Super fun to be reunited as always. Ravis, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you to the runners and everyone who's making this possible. And good luck in the next round, Specs.
Thank you, Ravis.
Yeah. All right. Just for one more spoiler log match going on, it is another losers bracket match coming up at 5:15 Eastern time tonight in Speedgaming 4. It's Shady versus T-Stu. That should also be a very exciting race to watch. So Speedgaming 4. Yeah. Until then, lots of other random going on, and have a great rest of your day.